Hey, 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 hey. Where can I get you guys in here? That's so cool. What is happening, everybody? Just wanted to welcome you to this beautiful Friday. At least we're having a beautiful Friday here in New Orleans. And I tell you, Capture One just came out with a new update, and I am one of their affiliates. So we kind of got a heads up on what the update was. And one of my favorite things is the new style of brushes. And I'm going, okay, I have to do a little video. So I'm going to be releasing a video later today on the style brushes. And I had a fantastic idea to create a playlist on my YouTube channel for my Capture One tutorials. And my goal is to take one aspect like the style brushes or masking or color, like take one aspect and make a short video just on that. That way there's not a 1 hour long video with too much info. You don't know where to find things. I'm gonna do quick little 5-minute videos per section you may want to research and look on, and that's what I'm going to be doing. But today I wanted to do a live stream and just say hi to everybody. It's been a while I work on an image of a high school senior I just had. I got to show you this, guys. All right, this is Miss Brooke. She is absolutely amazing. Looking at the comments here, Vance White is in the house, man. Vance is one of my longest, strongest supporters, man. He's a very good guy. He's a good photographer too, man. So Vance, I'm glad you're here, bud. Okay, so on StreamYard that I'm using for the live stream, in the comments section, it's really cool. It'll tell me the icon of where somebody is messaging us from, and all it says is Facebook user, unfortunately. Somebody said, oh, just started using Capture One. It's a great program. Looking forward to seeing what they have added. I love how easy the masking is and the tool for fixing blemishes. Okay, I'm a big fan of the layout too. Okay, so this is for you. Do me a favor in the comments. Why don't you tell us your name, just so I don't, apply to you as Facebook user. And since you are aware of the masking, then that's exactly what these style brushes are. But I'm going to go ahead and get my face off the screen and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's do this. Oh, interesting. All right, guys, give me a quick second. I'm getting used to this. Dooby-dooby-doo. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. Okay, that's what I need. Hey, Stuart. That's a kick. I wonder why it's only saying Facebook user. That's weird. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so let me show you this real quick. So you know how when you're working in masks, you can click on the brush, you can make your brush as big as you want, to start working on things. And if you're working on the sky, like, of course, you want to go ahead and make it kind of big. You do your brush and you're all good to go, right? And then anything in here you can work on. All right, so let me do this real quick. Let me go back to reset. This is the image directly out of the camera. And what I like is when you come to this little doodad over here, when you come to your exposure icon, you click on that. Now, let's do this. Let's say, let's work on the full image first, okay? So right beneath that, now you have these things called style brushes, okay? And what Capture One did was basically listen to us people who were using Capture One, and they were asking, hey, what are some of the things that you're doing all the time that we can make a shortcut for you, basically, So everybody loves this option. So what happens is on the style brushes, You can create your own, but we're not doing that today. We're doing the built-in style brushes that Capture One is giving you. And what's awesome about this is that your three options is color, enhancements, light, and contrast. So let me just jump to one thing that I found that I just completely love. Let's go to enhancements. Now you have add detail, which is sharpening, deep sky, iris enhance, red skin reduction, soft flare, whiten teeth. So this is kind of like you being in portrait mode, or just like my senior here. You know, there is a background for sky, and then there's detail on the person. And watch this. I'm going to go to deep sky. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and just get me a mask roll in here. All right. I'm just going to do a portion so I can show you something. So off the bat, you can see what happened. You saw how that yellow kind of went out. Watch this. So watch this. So now all that is masked. Everything that's red is something that you can adjust on its own. So people that have not really worked in masks before, this is all it does. Okay. So check it out. Now you can come down here to your white balance and let's warm that puppy up. Let's go nuts for a second. Obviously that's way too much. Okay. Coming down, coming down, coming down. Where is awesome? Awesome is in the 70 something range. Yeah, let's stay here. So check this out. So all that got adjusted, right? Just for playing around purposes. Let's do the whole image. I'm just curious. Like, let's warm up the entire image first, right? How does that look? Wow. That is impressive. So I kind of laughed when I did this because I could really be done right here. It's like, what else is there to do? But yes, there's always more. You know there is. So let's go up to layers, add a new layer, and you can call this what you want. You can change the name of that. But let's go ahead and let's work on details. Okay. Add detail. Let's lower largeness of this brush. Let's just get it way down to around like that. All right. So let's do eyebrows. And if you notice, the mask is defaulted to a lighter opacity. Like it's not crazy red like you just saw. It's a very light red, meaning the opacity is low. And the reasoning for this is that if you've worked in Photoshop for any amount of time in your life, working on people in general, you don't want to make large adjustments too quick because you can overdo things. And then backing up is just harder than adding. Okay. So bam. So let's hit Y for before and after. That's before. That's after. Isn't that cool? So again, that's a mask. So from here, let's raise our contrast. Let's raise our brightness a little bit. And leave that sucker alone. Booyah. Before, after. Isn't that cool? Looking at the comments here to see what's going on. If anybody has any questions, please just ask away in your comments, whether you're on Facebook or you're coming from YouTube. I see them in one comment thread that I have on StreamYard, which is super cool. So I'm going to keep playing. I'm going to explain what I'm doing as I'm going here, okay? So what I would normally do for this young lady is, first of all, this looks like I'm done. Like, really? This is awesome. Let's go to another image just so we can experiment together. Let me go towards, oh, okay, hold on. Remember how in the enhancements we saw soft flare? All right, That's not what this is. That really was the sun. All right, let's go to add a layer. Let's go to soft flare. Let's raise the brush because we want it big. Because flares are usually big, right? Booyah. See that little milky haze? That's like flaring the camera. And the more you put your mask and you keep on clicking, the darker it's going to get, the more you're going to get. So you can add highlights to your flash as you brush. Is that cool? I mean, come on. Granted, I wouldn't honestly use the flare too much, but I can totally see this being useful in wider areas like the sky or maybe even the ground. There's just ways you can use this flare, but that looks pretty darn cool to begin with. Very cool, guys. Very cool. All right, let me go to another image towards the end of this because we went to the lake. These are so cool. All right, y'all ready for these? All right, let me let you absorb this image for a quick second. Let me do a photography teaching moment right here. Whenever I get a chance to get sunsets, okay, a lot of times you want that sunset in the background. That's the whole purpose, to me at least, while you're shooting the sunset, because of a beautiful sky in the background. So when your subject is in front of that bright sun, even though it's low, 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 it's still brighter than your subject is in the front. You need to have light on them to balance out the light from behind them, if that makes any sense. So this image is mom holding the AD200. AD200 is the Evolve from Adorama. I love that light. I love that flash. It's portable. It's 200 watt seconds. It's amazing. She's holding it on a stand that I have. I have it aiming at her. She's just holding it so the wind doesn't blow it over. It's all I need is to break some equipment. Go ahead, Vance. I see you got to go. Thanks for being here, bud. So anyway, the flash is right over here, aiming at her, kind of feathering across her. Figured out the exposure of how much light is on her compared to what's in the background. How this natural fall off is on her legs is because the flash is aiming more here than it is even going all the way across. I didn't want that. I wanted, if you can tell, her shadow on her nose. This is how you can always tell from an image. That's a big shadow, I'm just realizing. But you can tell that that angle is this way, right? So it's pretty high up coming across. And the other reason for that is you're commanding the shadow to fall in an area that you want it to. So for it to be more on the side, let me see if I can do this. Right. So for the shadow to fall on this side of her leg, you have to have the light almost over here raking across her leg. If it's closer to where I'm standing, aiming at her directly, all of this is bright. So you controlling the shadows is how you create depth, dimension, and texture, as well as mood. So that being said, my teaching skills are going to be on pause for a second. Let me check the comments. Kev Taylor, how you doing, bud? Doing good, man. I was working on a video. I recorded the screen. I did all that good stuff. Put it in Final Cut Pro when I was editing, and the screen being recorded looked terrible. It's terrible. So I was all frustrated. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go re-record this, and I'll use OBS for my screen. And as I'm setting this thing up, I'm like, let me do a live stream and just see who is available on this Friday. So that is why I'm here. So Kev, I'm glad you're here, bud. We're just talking about the new style brushes on the update to Capture One. So if you own Capture One already, go do the update. It's definitely worth it. Today I'm talking about the style brushes, but there's a few other features that are really, really, really cool. And they basically found a way to make it way easier to work in Capture One without having to go do things in Photoshop. All right, you guys. So let's go to reset. All right, so this is the image out of the camera, okay? This is plain Jane out the camera. In fact, you can see my light stand right here. So that's how far away it is. Okay. Her shadow right here shows you the angle that the flash is on. So it's really coming across her body. I wanted that shadow to go away from her. I was fine with the sun. That just looks cool. So just to go back, do a Control Z. This is the ending shot that I came up with. But let's go ahead and start over and work with these brushes, shall we? All right. So first things first, let's do a crop. I like long, skinny crops. They print really well. They're like 10 by 20s, 5 by 10s, 20 by 40s. They're very unique sizes, and they look very artsy. So let's just do this, okay? Now, under your exposure little icon over here, let's go to layers, add a layer. We're going to open up the style brushes again right here, and let's go play. Let's do color. Let's try color this time. Warm. All right, let's make it warmer. And like I told you before, you see how it kind of gives you a lighter opacity of the mask? I like that. So no big jumping movements off the bat. Okay. All right, so taking a peek at this. And again, remember how I told you if you click again, and it's going to get darker. See how it gets darker? You're adding more. That right there saves me time. That saves me so much time. So let's go over here and finish the rest of this. Now, you're asking yourself, why is she so warm looking? This is a amber gel that I had on my flash. So I was flashing her with a warm setting off the bat. You don't have to do that. You can easily use regular flash and then do this procedure later. But I was like, let me use this gel, man, and see what happens. And I like it. She absolutely loved it, and that's all that really matters. So let's do that. And I love how the intensity of your brush usage gives you some gradient to the image from you actually brushing, doing the work. Isn't that cool? So moving on, let's hit Y. And this is before and after. Before, after. Before, after. Isn't that cool? This background image right here reminds me of the Eagles' Hotel California sunset on the cover of the album. That's what it reminds me of. So let's do this. So let's go ahead and do more. We're in the same mask, by the way. How cool is that? Let's do more right there. Now, since it's a mask in general, we can also come over here and add a little more warmth with your Kelvin. And let's go dehaze. Let's do that. Let's go to my dehaze down here. I always like to do a lot to see what is this thing going to do first. This is all the way. And that's not really bad. That looks pretty darn good. So this is only a 10. This is all the way. Let's leave it all the way. I dig that. So check this out. Before and after. That's pretty cool, man. Very, very cool. I mean, look. I mean, and this is the thing that kills me about your digital images. Back in the film days, when you bring the film to the lab, they interpret your negative and make a print for you. So doing something like this, where we're just basically burning down the sky, allowing some more color to hit the image, all of this was in the image already. So this is not fake. We're just doing like we would in the darkroom, just digitally. But how cool is that? That's awesome. All right, turn the Y off. Let me check the comments, you guys. You guys and girls, have any questions? I'm gonna keep rolling. So let's zoom into her. Now let's go over here and make a new layer. Let's go ahead and do Style brush. Let's do enhancements. Let's do add detail. Let's enlarge this a little bit. Right, hold on. Yeah. Usually when I say a little pin dot, you're out too far. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Eyebrows. Awesome. And why not? Let's do her outfit a little bit. You know, so when you sharpen things, first of all, eye, nose, and mouth is all you got to sharpen, not the entire face. Okay? And parts of the clothes that are obvious, and her hair, the layers of her hair that's closest to the camera or her face, is more worthy of being sharpened. Isn't that cool? So now, before and after. Before. I know it's really hard to tell, but I want to, me zooming in is not going to give me the look that I'm trying to show you on a live stream. I'm not sure how good the quality is, but if you can see that difference, it's there. It's absolutely there. Yeah, it's kind of hard to show you. That is there though. How cool is that? So how I would finish this image, I would do this. Bring this back down. Put that graph in the right spot. Boom. New layer. I would do a brush. Let's get her skin. And let's go down to clarity. Get the clarity down. Like remove clarity, remove sharpness, because we're only on the skin. And if you want her skin smoother, there you go. You want that shine to kind of go away, you lower your highlights. Pretty cool though, right? All right, let me check the comments. Yes, that is XT4 RAW. So I'm presently, I didn't do it for this weekend, but I want to rent that 16 to 55 2.8. I want to rent it because I'm thinking of putting a zoom in my bag, just because, especially on weddings when things are moving kind of quick. You know, I work with only the 16 mil 1.4, and then the 85 is in my bag for when I want to get closer. You know, a lot of zoom, like if I call it, you know, if you're sharpshooting people basically with your camera, you want to be far away, but still be kind of waist up on people. That's what the 85 is good for. That 16, I can totally work a room and just work. I love that lens. But I was just curious how that 16 to 55 2.8 performs compared to the Prime. So I'm gonna have to rent it before I go trading in maybe my kit lens for that lens. Pay the difference. If you have that lens, let me know in the comments. If you got the 16 to 55 2.8, let me know what you like and don't like about it, and I will figure it out. But yes, this is the XT4 RAW. In fact, let me show you more. This shot was cool. Can I show you? Or can I not show you? All right, so you're not seeing Mom in the picture. Mom is standing like right over here, and I got that light really high up, aiming down. You know, this is just awesome. So watch this. So just to show you before and after. That's out the camera. That's that amber gel that I have on her. It works with that sunset color. Out the camera, it's a pretty image. It is. If I were to do anything with this, it would be raise the shadows a little contrast, and call it a day. But why do that when you can do this? And this was 100% using the style brushes. As an affiliate with Capture One, I got a couple days notice as far as what these features we're going to be doing. And I was like, all right, let's play. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed because I can stay in my style brushes and go. And to show you something really, really quick, let's go to this image. Let's go reset. So this is the That's the file out of the camera. That's XT4 RAW. I have some presets that I created because a lot of these settings I'm doing all the time, so I saved them. Let me see. I have it. Let me show you these because one of these works really, really nice. Let's look at late afternoon. That's beautiful all by itself. And yes, she's a silhouette on purpose. Let me see. It was the ambient backlit. Yeah. So that's one preset of mine. What I like about my presets is that I can go ahead and click on it. And then what I usually do is come over here and just adjust my Kelvin and figure, you know, where do I want this thing to look? How much reds, how less, how more, that kind of thing. Quick, very quick. Let's go image reset. Let me go see which one. Late afternoon. So she already had the amber light on her from me. So that's going to throw things off a little bit with some quick little preset colors. Let me show you soft afternoon. I'm telling you, man, this was just one of those days where we had that beautiful, beautiful light. It's just cool. I'm not gonna lie, I love my GK Zing. The Zing is how can I explain the Zing? How would you explain the Zing from before to after? That's out the camera. That's my GK Zing. There's just a contrasty pop that I like a lot of times, and that's why I call it my GK Zing. All I would normally do after clicking the Zing is come over here. Let's go ahead and work on, let's get the highlights down a little bit so that brighter part of her face is down. I'm fine with that. Clarity in the punch, you can go to natural. Structure down, and the dehaze is fine. Let's do more dehaze. I'm just curious. Oh wow, yeah, cool stuff. Cool stuff. So who has any questions, any concerns? Is there something you want to see? You want to see more of the XT4 files? I'd be more than happy to. I sold my XT3, so the XT4 is my new main camera. It's all I've been using. I will show you one thing, okay? Because I'm still hearing, look at Drone, look at Daniel, man. Everybody say hi to Daniel from Drone Worship. He's a great guy. But I got to show you this. There's a band that I had in the studio the other day. And let me just get out of me and then go back to here. So the band I had in the studio, and they were photographed off of the background, honestly. People were like, how did you do that? How'd you do that? How'd you do that? All right, let me show you. Doo-be-doo-be-doo. Let's go to desktop, developed. After party. Okay. Show me. All right, check this out. Nope, don't check that out. That's all of them. Just give me one. So this is done in the studio. The XT4 is awesome, man. And I tell you how it helps me focus on the eyes. I can just worry about what I have to worry about. I love it. XT4 all day long. Coolio. And this is the rhythm section. Where are we? This guy, man, come on. All these people are beautiful people, so my job was easy to begin with. That's the drummer. And that's his personality too. Behind the drums or not behind the drums. That's who he is. It's my girl right now. She is so beautiful. She sings so beautiful. These guys, he does keys. Look at this. Love. So anyway, the reason why I'm showing you these images is one, I'm proud of them because the work was worth the work. It worked. I don't know why, but people are still kind of shocked when I tell them I'm a Fuji shooter. And it blows me away because raw files are raw files to a degree. I mean, seriously, these don't look any different than my Canon files. And, you know, my Canon 5D Mark III is still in my bag as my backup, but I've done tests in the past. I've got videos in the past of both cameras, and people cannot tell which is which. So anyway, your thoughts, and this is, by the way, this is absolutely no diss whatsoever on anybody else, not Sony. It's not that. If you've been a follower of mine for a while, you know I am all about it's equipment, it's a tool. The person using it is how things usually look the way they look, you know? So that Sony A1 looks amazing. The new Canon R6 looks amazing, but I like my Fuji. I do. I love it a lot. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate you, buddy. I'm not sure if you saw me comment to you the last time you peeked in on my live stream. I was like, man, I love what you did up in Colorado. That looked like fun. I was there a couple of years ago for my cousin's wedding. It didn't snow yet, so I'm a little envious. You got the snow. That looked pretty. Very, very pretty. Let me see. Let me show you more. Who else is here? If you're here in the live stream, even if you just do ... in the comments and just let me know that you're even here. I like StreamYard in the aspect to where I can go live in multiple areas. So in the comment feed, I'll see whether you're from Facebook or YouTube, which is great. So it's nice to see who's actually getting the content, basically. So let me go back to Capture One and show you some more stuff. How about that? Let's go back to some RAWs. My little T7. Yo, I did a video on that little flash drive. I can't pull it off and show you. It's that little solid state Samsung flash drive. That thing is awesome and it's fast. All right, let's look at this. These kids were awesome. This little family shoot that I did. All right, let's do this. Let's take one that's here. Let's go reset. So this is right out of the camera, right? Okay. Let's do this first thing. Let's go to your magic wand on top and just click it. And I have it set to do white balance and high dynamic range only. Okay. And the reason why is because I wanted to just kind of give me a little rough start. Then from there, let's go to presets. There's another preset I have. Where is it? It's called, yeah, it's my glossy sharp. Something happens with this preset. It's so cool. Let me go here. Let me up my Kelvin. All right, let's go back here. Let's lower the highlights. And this is one of those things to where if you just lower the highlights, it's going to do the entire image, right? So why not do it a good bit than as we've been doing? Let's make a new layer. Let's go to style brushes. Let's go deep sky. I'm trying to raise my brush here. Come on. Go, 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 go. Killing me, Smalls. All right. And there you go. So that is masked. And then from here, now granted, that's a white sky. That was not a blue sky that I blew out. That was a white sky. There's not a whole lot you can do with that. But highlights way down. And let's look at the buildings and let's say, hey, I like that a lot. All right, we'll keep on painting. I'm gonna sing for y'all. You can put $1 in my PayPal to make me stop singing. You ever go to a bar and they had that, like the dueling pianos or something, you know, and they would play songs everybody was tired of hearing, and their tip jar would be, put a tip in it, and we'll stop. You know, it's funny at first until you realize, all right, guys, that's enough. Play something we like. All right, so this is just for kicks and giggles. I'm curious. Let's get shirt. Let's get shirt. Let's get shirt, jacket. Let's get mom's shirt. You can see dad's jacket right there. Here's the brush. All right. So you see right here how if I click down, you'll see where the red is. See how it's on his face, on the boy's face, or dad's neck. Okay, so just come up here to the erase tool. Hold your key down and go, okay. Now let's just erase it off of his face. Erase the mask. That's all you gotta do. It's like the Joker. Get the Joker face off of there. Let's get it off of dad. And we'll, you know, normally I would come back and fix that. So if you had to turn down certain areas, that's how you do it. You know, let's do a crop. Oh yeah. Not too shabby. You know, very cool. But these kids are super, super adorable. I got to show you. Where are they? Yeah, let's go this way. Sorry, you guys. Let me fast forward past this little spot where we're at. All right. So speaking of dad, love the shot of dad. Love, love, love. So before and after. That's before. That's after. So if you were to reset back to nothing, and then just do your magic wand for auto, okay? Normally you'd come over here to exposure. You want to raise him up a pinch, bring contrast up a pinch, bring duration a pinch. I got my highlights are down, which I'm fine with. The dehaze, let's do dehaze a little bit. I like what dehaze does. It does. So I'm gonna drop some knowledge on you guys really fast. All digital cameras photograph in 18% gray, okay? And there's a reason for that, because that neutral sweet spot of exposure and color is good for most cameras to process and for you to work from. So if you're ever wondering why your camera on JPEG mode doesn't look like one of your raw files when you're done with it, that's a big reason why. You know, it wants you to be able to have control later. All right, you guys, I'm gonna close out the live stream in about a minute or two. I'm back to the comments. I'm just seeing who else is on here. How's everybody been? Who is here? Does it say hello? Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna go finish this video really quick on the style brush. I have a huge wedding tomorrow. They even have a helicopter exit at the end, which is going to be cool. The reception is at a place that sits on a really small little private airport. So the chopper's going to be waiting for them as they get on and go have an hour tour. That's cool. I will definitely have you some video of 240 frames per second from the X-T4. That is so buttery smooth, by the way. 240 is ridiculous. But the control you have with it in the timeline is awesome. When you ramp up the speed, you have a lot of information to work with, and it looks smooth no matter what speed you're going at. That's the difference of 120 and 240. It's just awesome. Strap a camera to the helicopter and get some. I know. I have my drone. My only thing is they're leaving for like an hour tour and then coming back to the place. I don't want to hang around for an hour. But yeah, man, he would not have a problem doing that, I'm sure. Where I can be like total what you call it, total spy, you know, and get the little suction cup thingy and yeah, you have a great night. Put her in the bottom and just walk away. That would be cool. Yes, that'd be bad to the bone. I'm about to work on that, man. Bad to the bone. Sorry, you guys. It looks like we're down to 2 people. Oh man, Daniel. Oh, Daniel, really quick while you're here. So everybody, Daniel has a drone worship channel, and it's actually not just drones. That's what 90% you talk about, but the guy's awesome with all things RC, honestly. So Daniel, really quick before you go, my Bebop 2, I did go on the free flight thing for the return home. For everybody that doesn't understand this, my Bebop 2, when I'm flying it, I don't know what happened, but when I hit the RTH button, return to home, it does not do what it usually does, which is go up 200 feet, turn to where it started, come to me, and land and stop 5 feet from the ground. I don't know what's going on, but I've done the work in the back end, and all it does is wherever it is, it just goes 5 feet down. It doesn't actually return home. So I did the reset like you did in your video for the drone itself. I recalibrated. I did the trim. I don't know. I'm gonna have to text you in a couple of days when I have it in front of me, and I'll text you some screenshots what I'm seeing, and you can tell me what am I doing wrong. I don't know why I can't get the RTH to work again. Daniel saying I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite controversial. Like, I go against the grain quite often, and I'm not sure if you can stomach me. Absolutely, man. That's why we love you so much. Nobody wants to follow the leader all the time, especially when the leader is a dominating company like a certain 3-letter company you talk about a lot. You know, I love my little Bebop 2, by the way. That thing is a beast. It just works. Turn it on, go. You know, none of that checking stuff those other brands have to do. You know what I'm talking about with this. You started having a whole lot of firmware problems, and the company does not support the drone anymore, so I gave up and sold it. Oh no! Is that why my RTH isn't working? That would stink. I gotta get RTH to work. That's all I need. Yeah, that's it. That completely stinks if that's why it's not working. Man, don't make me buy a DJI if I don't want to, if I don't have to. Come on. There's so many restrictions in that. I'm not about the restrictions. I'm like you, man. Let's go rogue. Let's go have fun. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. If you are rewatching this, still leave some messages in the comments. You can also, I'm going to put it in the comment right here, but you can join us on the Facebook group, Focus with GK, and we can do some real-time talking and sharing images, gear, you name it. But there's a lot of people on there. You know, Focus with GK for me is more of a positive, motivating, creative experience that we all share, even though it's in different industries. So I got friends that are actors that stay motivated. I got people who only work with, you know, art kind of things like painting, and it's a kick how we're all in that same kind of wavelength. You know, you want to do something creative and have fun. So it's not a judgy kind of group. We're not here to, you know, tear down your image. Where everybody has a chance to show us what you're doing so we can help you. You know, you're asking for help, we'll give it. But we're not the kind of group that just is dying to put you down. That's not the group. And if anybody joined the group and was doing that, I would have them exit the building, you know, stage left. You can do that when you own the group page. It's cool. Daniel, wait, don't bail yet. You just got 7 people in here. Oh, did I really? Where'd they come from? So look, I'm looking at the feed on my YouTube feed on my phone, and it's showing me 3. So do I have a couple of people from Facebook too? Is that where the 7's coming from? Interesting. Thank you for that. Facebook, Focus with GK. All right, I'm just throwing that out there in the comments so later people will see where to go. But Daniel, I appreciate you. If you just joined us, do us a favor, man. Just even if you hit the little dots, the little periods, hit a few things and hit enter. Just let me know that you're even here and you're paying attention. And I was just showing in the capture one. I'd be more than happy to do it again real quick for one of the images before I got to go. And let's move on from there. So, yeah, so Daniel and I were just talking about drones. If you want a good, fun, easy, laid back channel to go pay attention to, I really like your FPV, man. You've gotten way, way better at the FPV stuff. Man, there's some dude I followed a long time ago that he was at the beach and he'd go up and down to buildings and how he does that. And the quality of that video was ridiculous. So good. So good. All right, so if there's a few more people here, I will be more than happy to, let me go back to capture one and get my mug off of here. Let me go back to the pretty girl because I love her images. I just do. She's a sweetheart and a half. But the end of her day was stunning. Let me go back to this little section. All right, so I'm going to show you before and after. If you're just joining us, I'm going to show you what the Capture One Pro style brush does. That's before. That's after. All right. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to hit Y, turn that off. Go to my adjustments, reset. So it goes right back to the original. So this is the file out of my Fuji. Okay. And I have it set to leave my file alone when I come into Capture One so I can just click and have fun. So this is what's going to happen. First things first, okay? Let's go to our magic wand. Click it. I have it set to automatic white balance and the high dynamic range because contrast and all, I didn't want it to do it for me. I'm like, let me go from there. So this is what you can do with the style brushes. Check this out. Go to your lower exposure icon tab. And before you do anything with layers, which I'm going to show you in a second, let's go right under here where you see style brushes. Okay, it's right above the white balance. When you click on that, you get some options. Custom style brushes, which you can save your own presets basically as a style brush. That's cool. I'm going to mess with that next this weekend, actually, because that's control. The built-in style brushes are what Capture One gave us in this update. And it's three things. It's color, enhancements, and light and contrast. So the idea of Capture One is that they have done a really good job of listening to their users. And, you know, I am an affiliate of Capture One Pro. So they have a vetting process of who wants to be an affiliate, and they check you out, make sure you're an actual working pro. You know what you're talking about, how is your quality, because they want their affiliate program to represent their brand in a very good way, instead of, you know, every Joe in town just signing up to try and make a dollar. Controlling people's lack of knowledge is very, very difficult to do on a large scale, I'm sure. So I'm happy and privileged and thankful to be on board. And these presets, these little style brushes, are basically like little things that we do all the time to our images. So they made these like little brush shortcuts. So check this out. Let me show you something. I'm going to go to color, and you're going to go to, you got cooler, you got warmer, you got less saturation, you got more saturation. Okay. You can do the more saturation, and let's go ahead and raise the size of this brush. And let's just do a piece. And if you notice how light it is, see that sky? Watch, you see how light red that is? All right, this is really cool stuff, y'all. Watch this. The lightness shows you the amount of masking power you're putting down on the page. It's just like a paintbrush. All right, it's your opacity level, basically. So usually when you're working in Photoshop, you don't want to do a lot very quickly, because the minor, slower adjustments as you go allows you to actually have more control of your final image rather than doing too much too quick, because going backwards is a lot more difficult than adding more. And that's why they did that. So check this out. Before and after. Before, Look at that sky. After. Before. After. All right, so I'm going to hit Y again to turn that off. So watch this. So if you just click on the page and hold down your mouse key, okay, you're going to see where the red is. Now, this is something where they paid attention to us big time. Even though your mask is already here, okay, without going to your opacity slider or any of that jazz, the more times you go over your mask, look at that. See how darker and darker and darker and darker and darker and darker and darker it gets? How awesome is that? Dear Lord, is that a time saver? That is such a time saver. You know, instead of click here, go, click here, go over there, click here. Where'd it go? Yeah, no, just I want more down here. Let's make this thing like lime green. You let go. It's like, okay, there's my lime green. No, man, I want more. All you gotta do is keep rubbing it. Just hold down your mouse key and keep on going, and eventually it gets to 100 opacity. Look at that. Compared to look at this side. Isn't that cool? FPV. I'm looking at Daniel. FPV is life, bro. I know, man. I want one really bad. I really do. And if those cameras are good enough on there, dude, you shouldn't have to worry about FAA. Correct? Right? It's a lot smaller than a pound and a half or whatever the heck their restriction is. So you did this, right? And you're like, oh, that's awesome, but I don't want all of that. Well, just go to your eraser tool right here. Let's get your brush up there. And now when you click, you can see it go away. Boom. That's gone. But check this out. So that's your color, right? That's just saturation. Watch this. What if we did this? Let's go back. Let's reset. All right, back to the image out of the camera. Let's go to our style brush. Let's go to enhancements. And enhancements are really cool, man. Add detail, deep sky, iris enhance, red skin reduction. You know, people who are outside a lot, or they get a sunburn, or for whatever reason, that makes life great. Soft flare, whiten teeth. So these brushes right here tells me this is absolutely people outside, you know, because you've got deeper sky, which obviously you're outside, but everything else is really for the person, you know, the eyes, the sharpness, the whiter teeth. That's so cool. So look, let's go to deep sky. All right. Again, let's go on here. And, you know, we're going to just get this little part. We're going to let go. And it's like, okay, I like that. I can see the blacks are a little darker. It does look, you know, deeper, richer, but my color's not right. Well, just come down here to your Kelvin, and let's go up to about 72, 77. Yeah, let's go 78, 78, 42. Why not? Now look at that. Hit the Y. Here's your before and after. Now, this is something I just explained a second ago, but back in the film days, when you brought a roll of film to your lab, when they develop your image, your negative, it's their interpretation. In other words, how much exposure they're doing, how much color they're adding. Like, they did that for you, and the print you got was their interpretation. It doesn't mean it was the final thing, even though we all thought it was. It's their interpretation. Working in Capture One or Lightroom or whatever, working in a raw file, it is your interpretation. So looking at this, okay, I can say, now I can tell you this, I was there. Obviously, I took the pictures. That was ridiculous. I was there. This is what the sun looked like in the background. It was that beautiful end of the day golden light. Awesome. So watch this. Let's just mask everything. Let's do the whole image. Like, I'm just curious. What does the whole image look like? Wow. Can we say done? Done. That's all I did. Love, love, love. So what if you were like, oh man, but can I sharpen her eyes a little bit? I mean, I know she's sharp, but I just want to see what happens. Sure thing. Let me get you closer, you guys. Ooh, not that much closer. I'm sorry. I'm coming. Ah, dude. Dude. I am not getting, where's the darn hand? All right, just move. That was funny. Okay, there we go. Let's go back to the brush, shall we? Okay, so now we're going to work on a different aspect and a different effect. So now you want to create a new layer. So come to your layers right here. All right, click the plus, add a new layer. Now whatever you do is not going to affect what you just did. It's its own layer. It's its own thing. So we want to work on just the details. Okay, so we're going to mask just where I want to control the sharpness. All right. Eyebrows. Let's do teeth. And this part of the nose. Okay. So without me doing anything to this, that's before and after. Okay. You can absolutely see the difference of the left eye and the right eye, you know, and it's minor. It's not like crazy sharpening. That's what I like about what Capture One decided to do with these little baby steps you can do. I like that. Now here's the cool part. Now you're like, well, I just want to work on the eyes. Darn it, I just masked all this stuff. Okay, calm down, chill. New layer. Let's go to the eyeballs. All right, iris enhance. And then from here, it did a little something, but let's go ahead and raise the exposure. Now watch, I'm gonna go a lot, just so y'all can see where did I mask. All right, let's do this, hold on. All right, so that's just so you can see where I masked. Obviously, that is way too much. Dooby-dooby-doo. I'm bringing my exposure down. What did I move? I changed something very weird. Okay, that's odd. Am I in the right layer? Yeah, iris. Okay. I don't know what's going on, but now I got the alien eyes happening here. That's interesting. Hold on, let's turn that off. Interesting. Oh, I was on the wrong layer. Look at that. Okay. So bam, saturation, contrast. You know, it's like, GK, that is way too much. Of course it is, dude. Bring that down. Let's go to the eraser tool and bring that down. I'm gonna get really small. I'm gonna click here because I want to see, did I get her skin? You know, that little piece of skin right there? Yeah. Just make sure her skin is not touched. I just want her iris. Cool, man. Before and after. Is that neat? Tell me that's neat. Tell me that's neat. I want to hear it. I want to see it in the comments. Can't hear you, so I have to read you. What y'all think? Not too shabby, huh? So look, if you own Capture One already, go click on the update, all right? And you'll have these things in there. You'll thank me later. I'm gonna go finish making my style brush video. What I plan on doing is having a playlist on my homepage to my YouTube channel for Capture One. Now, the goal for me, because you know, I like seeing videos to help me out, but I don't need too much information at one time. I don't like 60-minute videos when I really need 5. You know, like just showing me how to work this thing. You know, how do I mask? There's one video. You know, the style brush on color and stuff I just showed you. One video. So I'm going to do right now. There's another one you can do with just this and just that. So I'm going to have that itemized for you. So when you need help with something, you can go click and rest assured it'll be a 5 to 6 minute video, short, to the point, and you won't be fast forwarding and seeing the next cool thing in the video. We're going to show the cool stuff only. You know what I mean? All right, you guys, I am looking at the comments, trying to see what else is here. Sup, sup, sup. And for you people who don't know what that means, it means what's up, what's up, what's up. We just skip the what because it's so much breath you got to use. So, sup, sup, sup. Oh, Daniel, that's what happens when you get tired, man. All right, you guys, I'm going to get out of here. I have a wedding tomorrow. I need to go pack up and charge batteries and all that good stuff and try and finish this darn video so I can edit it and get it up for you guys this evening. Daniel is the man. Anthony, thank you. Thank you for beautiful. I saw that. Hey, Daniel, how many people do you see in here on your end if you're still here? Because my phone's feed is telling me 3 people are here. But maybe that's just YouTube. So I don't know who's here still here from Facebook, that is. Anthony, do you use Capture One? Are you thinking of it? Can I show you something? Anything with a sky? Anything with, I don't know, anything that you're presently doing in your raw converter file? I was a long time user of Lightroom. And even before I went to Capture One, my Canon 5D Mark III images look better in Capture One than it did in Lightroom. Granted, that was a while ago. What Lightroom is doing now is, light years from what it was doing 4 years ago. So, I just got onto Capture One, and there's some preset things that I love that Capture One does. I'm pretty sure Lightroom can do it too. Which I will show you one little thing. How many lights did you use? Good one. You ready for this? I'm going to show you the truth. Yes, 4 years on with my X-T2 and X-T3. Man, I had no idea the Fuji system was what it was. About 2 years ago, I wanted lighter, smaller. I wanted this mirrorless thing. I wanted better focus, mostly lighter, smaller, because, that Canon 5D Mark III with flash and a lens on there, it's a brick. And I was getting pain. This muscle right here, I was just getting so much pain from working 8 to 10 hours a day with this gear on you. And I'm like, dear Lord, man, I need lighter, but at least the same quality of the image. That was my thing. And the biggest reason why I even went to Fuji was because that Fringer Pro adapter lets me use my Canon lenses. That was life-changing. It is. It still is. So you've been using this for 4 years. This is nothing new to you. And if it is, dear Lord, let me know if I changed your life today. But let me go back here real quick, okay? Let me know if you do this, Anthony. Oh, good. And I can see you on my phone's YouTube feed, so this helps me out a lot. Hold on. Give me a quick second. Okay. So to answer your first question, how many lights did I use? Okay. I'm going to tell you the honest to God truth. Honest to God. From the beginning of the session, all of these, 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 all of these. And we're going. There's a reason why I'm doing this. All of these, all of these, all of these. Keep going. Schmackalaka. Keep on rocking. Go, 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 go. All of these, all of these, all of these. I know. Wait for it. And then we get to a sunset. Everything above the sunset was natural light. Every single image. Not even a reflector. Natural light. I've been a photographer for what, 27, 28 years. I've been self-employed for 26 and a half. The whole theory that God's light is the best light, it's the best quality light. And I always photograph at the last 2 hours of sunlight, if not hour and a half, because it's the best quality of light. It's the best color. It's the softest. Your shadows are not as deep. You don't get, the squinty eyes because you're out there too early. And yes, I am the guy that used to teach all around the country on how to use multiple flashes outside. So I love OCF. I love off-camera flash. I love that control. But there was something a couple of years ago I realized that I was kind of missing. And there was an organicness, I guess you can say, that you lose with flash. And I like to shoot quicker than waiting for the flash to recycle. I love natural light. So the whole thing of when you were first learning photography, find the light, use it, pay attention to the angle it is, pose your subject according to the angle of the light. 8 out of 10 times, the sun is key light, shoulder and back for me. That's how I like to use it. It's rarely used for on the face and the front, because especially at the end of the day, that crazy orange light like these. This is natural light, okay? This is 100%. I'm gonna show you something. Hold on, let me go bigger. All right, I'm gonna hit the Y. Here's before and after. Now I have my camera set to not go all crazy on what it's importing. Like I have Capture One set to not do any crazy presets. So this is the camera. Now, looking at this file, if you've been shooting pictures for a very long time, you know that cameras photograph in 18% gray. So what you see in the camera is not the final image. It's just like when you used to bring the film to the lab, and when they would process your film, they would develop that, image into an 8x10 for you. That person developing it is their, it's their interpretation of your negative, which is what you're seeing on paper. I had no idea that's what it was when I was younger. I thought what they gave me, they gave me. And I had a wedding, and the bride reordered an image. And when I got the print back, it didn't look anything like the preview, the proof, the 4x5. I brought it to the lab, and I'm like, why is this so different? And they said, turn it over. See those numbers on the back of the paper? Those were the settings that we chose. I'm like, what? Chose? So that's how it's like, okay, I like this. So digitally, your raw file, you are the lab. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is, looking at this file, there's more color than what's going on. Okay, this was real. That was, at the end of the day, beautiful golden sun I was having. But I knew raw file, I can tweak color later. Doing a white balance is nothing. But this is 100%, no fill, no nothing, no flash. That's natural. Does that help you out, Anthony? And which, by the way, I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to have to click on your name and all later, and check you out and follow you and see what you're doing. What do you specialize in? Are you a working photographer, or doing it for the love of it and living outdoor, or kids or animals? I got some followers, man, that do some amazing animals. I mean, wildlife. Like, geez, I got a couple of guys that just blow me away. I grew up in a studio. My parents shot 70mm film. Cool. I miss going to the lab. Yes, it helps. Oh, wow. That 70mm I never shot. That was that long roll. So they shot schools and stuff. Very cool. I think that's why they used to use the 70mm, right? That's so cool. And look, man, I love using a flash. I really do. I love that control. This is all flash. This is a flash off to the side. Where's her hand up? This is a flash to the left. Amber gel on the flash, which is just the Magmod stuff. So it has the adapter thingy on there that holds the gel, and it's boom, it's scraping her. The flash is way over here and high, because you can see the shadow on her nose. It's on an angle like this, because I wanted her legs to look skinnier. And the only way you give dimension to anything is by enhancing its shadow. You have to give it a lighter and a darker so you can see those lines. If my flash was where I'm standing and just blasting her in the front, her legs would look wider, not whiter, wider, fatter, larger, spread more. Girls don't like that, last I checked. Oh man, Anthony, pretty. I like the shadow. Me too. And the funny thing is, I love the shadow from the sun. This is hers right here, and in Photoshop that's easy to get rid of, but your eye doesn't even go there off the bat. Like, it totally just stays here. So I don't know. I didn't even worry about this. If she were to order a canvas print of this, I would probably take my medium blur tool, action tool thingy that I have, and just smoothing that out so it wasn't so obvious. But that's the only time I would really do that. Hey, so Anthony, I know you're just coming on. Did you see the studio shots I just did? The band, did you happen to see those? I'd be more than happy to go back to it. Let me see. Let me show you, because I love Studio too, bud. I do. Since you've been around for so long, then you know the lingo. Through PPA, I'm a photographic craftsman, PPA certified, I was close to my master's, and I kind of took a break and walked away. A couple years back, I have 3 kids. At the time, my son was small, and I was going a different direction creatively, so I did. But that's all my knowledge and learning was going to seminars and going to Texas school, and any seminar you can pay for, you had to go, or you didn't learn all the new stuff. Those days have greatly changed. Greatly changed. Hold on, sorry, I'm trying to get back to my desktop. Desktop, developed, after party, yes. So this is Studio, bud. And to answer your question really quick, because people have been asking me, and I have not been really boisterous on exactly how I did this, but let me show you. I will show you because you were on my live stream. That's what you get for being here. You get the backstage pass. Let me go to filter on none. Come on. This is what they really look like. All right, so still light it correctly. Still, do your job as a photographer. And, the good Lord made Photoshop for us to do things like this. Isn't that cool? Does certification help, or was being certified just a personal goal? I have been at Texas school 3 years in a row. Yeah, it's been 10 years. Yes. Here's the biggest problem, and I'm sure everybody has the same question, the same circle of friends. Everybody says, other photographers will ask this question to each other, but they're not thinking of it in the right way. First of all, do your clients care? No, not really. They care about you doing your craft really, really well, and they care because you've done those steps to get to where you are. They appreciate that. But no, I have never gotten a piece of business because I was PPA certified or a photographic craftsman. It is 100% because I wanted it for me. I enjoy teaching. It's a shame there's just no money in teaching unless you're on the speaker route and you have something to sell all the time. And I just didn't want to be away from the family. I was on that route. I was being sponsored by companies, and it felt great. But at the end of the day, the relationship and the business model you create with your clients is what's more important, not really what other photographers think of you. And that's how I kind of saw my medals. Let me show you this real quick. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something really quick, Mr. Anthony. I have this hanging up out of the way. I haven't showed anybody these things in so long. Okay, sorry. All right. The PPA dealie. Which one is this? This is my Craftsman. It's my certification. That's my certified PPA certification, and this is my photographic craftsman. I'm super proud of these things. I mean, I did the work to get here. I did. And I'm always the guy that gives you the same advice I would give my own kids. College is not for everybody, but going and doing it and doing the work gives you experience of being around people that are rising above your high school level, and you will also rise and grow. And for me, that's what this experience was. It put me into a level that I would have never have gotten to. The knowledge that I'm actually using to this day, right now, on every single job, whether it's food, interior, high school seniors, bands, you name it, I do it. I'm really honestly like the one guy in town that does almost everything. It's because of these certifications. It's because I did the work, and it's schooling. No, it's no different than college. I mean, if I were to look at all the seminars and conventions I paid for in the 10 years that I was going to those things, it was a college education. Easy, So where you are, maybe where I was at the time, which is what's the point of going towards that? Don't look at your result on this end as what you're looking at it right now. Look at it as, I want to be here. I don't care about that. I don't care about the people, the photographers. I don't care, who is more popular than me on the speaking route. I don't care who has how many more years. It doesn't matter. What does matter though is your personal growth, your personal health, and taking all of that and moving forward in your life. So the more knowledge you have, the more experience you have, you can do anything. And I literally do everything and anything. And I was totally against the grain when I was younger. Because when I was younger, the older photographers would tell me, GK, what do you want to specialize in? I'm like, what are you talking about? So, well, you want to be known for one thing really, really, really well. Like, you're the best wedding photographer, city of New Orleans. I'm like, I have a problem with that. He's like, what do you mean you have a problem with that? You want to be a jack of all trades? I'm like, no. I have a problem with that because up until grabbing a camera and learning everything I can towards my profession, I have customer service experience with past jobs. So people person, I got that. Customer service skills, check. Everything else is learn your craft. Learn how to use the camera. Learn why. Why can't you shoot everything? Why can't I shoot food and kids? And he goes, no. You want to be the best at one aspect? I'm like, I have a problem with that too. He's like, man, you and your problem. That's what youth does. I said, no. I'm an ADD creative person. I literally and physically, emotionally cannot do only one thing all the time. I can't. I won't. And, fast forward to COVID time and, my wedding event friends are still waiting for restrictions to lift, as every time my phone rang, do you do headshots? Yep. Would you photograph my dog? Absolutely. I love animals. How about kids? Love them too. They're not mine. You see where I'm going with this? So whatever you want to do for yourself, don't let anybody, not even your parents, man, don't let anybody hold you back from figuring out how to accomplish your goal. And honestly, for me, it was these things. It was doing the work. It was sitting on the board for state. It was, some master photographers I was taking classes under are friends of mine now. None of that happens if you don't go do the work. Does that help? I'm so sorry, everybody, if I went on a strange off the board tangent, but it's actually extremely important advice for anybody serious enough that needs to hear it, or they were looking for an answer. I lived it and I'm still living it. So it's probably more important than what I'm just showing you on a style brush, honestly. How'd you deal with burnout? Anthony, not mine, I like it. It does help. Let me flip the question. What are you burnt out on? I'm gonna let you answer that in the comments while I pull something up over here. What are you burnt out on, my friend? So this is a kick. So this is what the band looked like. This is what the band looked like in my studio. Okay. And they're off the background. Back in the day, this was a lot of work to cut them out. Now, the recent release of Photoshop makes my life so much easier. Their magnetic lasso and then select subject button is ridiculous, and it allows me to do this really quickly. Isn't that cool? I'm crazy impressed. But I have all those retouching years in the beginning of learning how to do all this stuff and how to retouch people correctly and all that stuff. So yeah, man, experience will absolutely push you forward. Let me go back to my comment screen here. 203, wow. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back to your question. How would I go about certification? Are you a member of PPA? That's the only way I know that does the certification. It is a pretty big test. How they've changed it since when I took it, I don't know, but it was tough back then. They had a lot of questions that you didn't need to know the answers to, like the old school large format cameras, which you actually might know the answers to because of your parents. Oh, thank you. Really nice composite. I'm looking at your comments right now. I'm sorry. I was asking you, what are you burnt out on? And you said long story. Was that your answer? Long story? I hear you. I guess the better question to you is, if you didn't have to do any certain thing in photography to pay a bill, you didn't have to. Like, here's the brand new camera. Here's the Sony A1. We're going to give you 6 months to do whatever you want to do. We're going to take care of all your life expenses. What would you spend 100% of your time doing? What do you love capturing the most? Is it street photography? Is it artsy stuff? You know what I mean? So it's like, if you had that opportunity, what would you photograph all the time? That's the real question. So I just turned 49. So this December, I'm 50. Okay. And I've been doing this for 26 years. So I was 23 years old when I started my business. And I was back in the film days. All right. That was 94. So I had to learn the hard way, which is the best thing ever, honestly. And I've always said, when I get older, you always say, people ask, what do you want to do 10 years from now? I'm like, well, let me change that for you. I know what I don't want to be doing. And that's the best way to look at it. What don't you want to be doing? And then focus more on what you do want to be doing. Because learning the camera and why light does what it does, and then how you can modify that, is it. That's all you have to learn, man. Learn as much as you can, to where it's like riding a bike. I can't help it. When I'm driving, I'm seeing light and shadows everywhere. When I'm going downtown for a client for their engagement session, and it's, not going to rain, but man, the sun's barely out, but that good even light is there. You still got to find somewhat direction of light, even when there's hardly anything there. All of that is running through my head all the time. And it's kind of cool because I see the world differently than like my wife does. She's not a photographer, so she doesn't see what I see and why I see it the way I see it. Does that make any sense? I'm reading your comments. You said, what I do like to shoot? Yeah, getting the business is the hardest thing for me. Shooting is easy. Families, kids, parties, headshots. For me, landscapes. Dude, you sound like me, man. You not to ask you your age, not that matters, but this is a follow-up. This is another live stream I can absolutely do. This would be a great super chat, honestly. You can tell some friends to jump on board and have this conversation, which is, in today's world of social media and how things are, even though they're oversaturated. I mean, everything's oversaturated if you think about it. You can still stand out on your own, but you do have to do the work. It's really no different than the past. The difference is we couldn't buy a larger Yellow Page ad. We had to stay at that smaller ad and work a little harder on getting better clients. And those people tell their friends and their friends. And fast forward 10 years later, you have a You got a community, you know. This day and age is better and worse at the exact same time. It's better because there's so many free social media ways that you can be in front of people, and it's worse because so can everybody else, you know. So I get that part. But as far as attracting, 44, oh yeah, man, I remember 44. It was so a few years ago. Yeah, you're in that prime. You're in that age where it's full steam ahead. You know, you got 50 right in front of you, and it's like I'm still not doing exactly what I want to do. It's like I'm still not there. What if I told you I had that exact same thought process just a week ago? And it's false to a degree because I am where I want to be. I am doing what I want to do. I love my job. I love the people skills of it. I love the talent range that I've acquired over the years, and I can do cool things like this for bands and teams of lawyers and other businesses that need this kind of imagery. You know, moving forward, I know what I can just not really show too much of to not get that kind of business in the future, and always show the kind of business I do want to be doing. And that's how you kind of change your sales a little bit. You know, too much is too much. Remember that. If you only show people what you want to do, don't show them the shots moms want to see. I call it shoot for mom, shoot for me. You know, on a bride, you know, mom wants that nice full length shot, pretty flowers are here for her wall. My artsy shots are shooting through something for blur, depth of field, something artsy. It's a moment, it's candid, it wasn't a pose. That's me. So shoot for mom, shoot for me. But on Instagram and Facebook and my website, I only show the shoot for me shots. That's it. So over the last good 8 or 9 years, I have been acquiring people who like what I show. So now I have a lot of people who like what I like to do. And the shoot for mom is just part of your shot list. You know, you got to do it. But if you're showing a full length of a bride on social media, that's 90% of your problem right there. You know, I'm definitely going to go look you up and follow you later. Do me a favor, man. Go to the Facebook group page, Focus with GK. Go ahead and, you know, join us. It's not one of those group pages where everybody's dogging each other on their work and we're only gearheads. That's not what this group is. I'm a positive, motivating kind of person, and everybody's work is at the level of where they are. So any, you know, knowledge that even you, man, you can absolutely help somebody on an image or just appreciate where they are because you were there at one time. And, you know, we're not those kind of people. But I got to say, man, everybody who is on the group, they're like me. They're awesome. They're positive. There's no hate. None of that. I would kick somebody out if there was. But, you know, you're more than welcome to be there. But absolutely, we can continue this conversation in real time on the Facebook group, share images, and just kind of go from there, you know. This has been fantastic. And I got to thank my buddy Daniel. He's probably not here anymore. But he told me I was getting ready to get off a while ago. And he was like, man, if some more people just jumped on. And I couldn't see that in my YouTube comment thread. So I'm so glad I hung around long enough to where Mr. Anthony Triana, is that right? Triana? You know, got a chance to have a conversation with you, bud. I do weddings, but people I know, cool, man. Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you the same thing I tell other local photographers. Okay, I'm an open book. You know, you can message me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or even through here, honestly. And if you have a question, I'm happy to help. But first, you have to ask the questions so somebody can help you. And so many people are shy, they're gun shy on pulling the trigger to actually ask somebody a question. And it's not the time, you know, pull away, ask away. Definitely join us on the Facebook group, man. You will be an asset in that group. You know, you've got the years, the experience, and you seem like you're a nice guy. You haven't said anything negative to me yet. That's so cool. I gotta go. I got a huge wedding tomorrow. I gotta go pack up and charge batteries. And if you're rewatching this live stream, you got a lot more than just the Capture One, man. I kind of went off the cliff and told you guys a lot of my personal story that not many people actually know. You know, I don't talk about my commas after my names. It's not even on my email signature. You think it should be, right? It's not. It's not. It's just who I am. I'm down to earth. I'm a rock star. Live large, party hard, work harder. That's life. That to me, that's what a rock star really is. Somebody who knows how to perform when they get on stage. Every time a client's in front of you, man, that's your stage. Do your best. Leave them wanting more and rock forward. That was a good outro. I'm going to stop there. All right, Anthony, I'm going to see you on the group. Everybody else, thank you for being here. This is GK. I am George Kushler, owner of GK Photography here in New Orleans. And this is Focus with GK. But not anymore. The live stream is over.